What's up everyone, ColdFusion here and welcome back to The Witcher 3. So last time we played this, I did a bunch of side quests and side content in general, just to level up a little and clear it out of my quest log, I suppose. And now we are going to do Kira's side quest line, so I might as well get it out of the way now. It's recommended level 6, and as you can tell, I've got new armor, new swords, and I've leveled up quite a bit. I'm now level 9. That is because, if we hop to the map, and I zoom out a little, I did a bunch of, just a bunch of shit on the map, to be honest. Went to all the, not all the question marks, but most of them. Just to collect gear, loot, and just gain some XP. So, yeah, that's all I've been doing, really. Nothing notable, I suppose. Nothing worth showcasing on camera. That's why I just wanted to get this done. I'm not going to need to do as much of this beyond Vellum. I guess in the Novigrad area, and as we push on further, I'm not going to need to go off camera and grind a few levels just to participate in the side quests. It's really interesting in Velen because you get to Velen at what, maybe level 3 at the most? Level 2 or level 3. And the first main quests really are level 5 and 6, so already you're kind of pushing it a little. But then all of the side quests and Witcher contracts and stuff are around 7 to 10, so you've got to level up a bit before you can even start participating in the side quests, which is where you get most of the XP. So you do kind of have to go out your way a little just to level up. It's weird, but that's sort of that sort of gameplay / level balancing doesn't seem to be present beyond Velen. Sorry for my throat dying. I also crafted these, the Viper Swords. I don't recall if I showed that on the last part. You know, I might have, but I don't remember. I crafted some more oils, potions, bombs, what have you. Nothing new, I suppose, in that area. I just crafted a bunch more. I could have done this on camera just to show what I crafted specifically, but really, it wasn't much to it. Honestly, it would have been kind of boring, because I was just going into a herbalist shop, just purchasing the herbs that I needed to mix the potions, and just doing it from there. There's nothing much to it. And yeah, I have a lot more money now. I just went around, collected all the loot from those question marks on the map, sold them off, and generated a bit of revenue. I'm still not slotting any runestones or glyphs into the swords or the armor yet. I want to save them for when I get the Witcher gear at least. I think I made this clear before, but I do want to reiterate it, I suppose. So yeah, then that's fine. I do have some level ups that I want to look at, some upgrade points. If we just wander through the quest briefly, what we got to do in the main quest from this point is we got to do Ladies of the Wood. I'd rather save that until I've cleared out most of the other side content in Velen. Not saying I'll do all of the side content, but I want to at least do most of it. I'll at least play the Baron and Gwent on camera. But before I do that, in between parts, I probably will need to get some better cards. I have been playing against a few people as I explored the map, but I think I got most cards for the other decks that I don't use, aside from the Northern Realms. Stuff like this, Defender of the Faith, the fist fighting ones will do that. A bunch of these other side quests. At least 2 of these. We'll do both these Witcher contracts. This one here, the Merry Widow, I accidentally stumbled upon. Not intentionally. I wanted to start this quest line from speaking to the contract giver, but I didn't do that. I actually kind of when if you go to in certain contracts and quests, if you go directly to a certain point, a certain location, you might accidentally get past the investigation stage, like if you just happen to find the monster lair. So that's kind of what I did with that. I don't think I missed too much, but I know you get this quest in Lindenvale, and there is a pretty important quest in Lindenvale that I want to do. So I hope I don't forget that. And of course we will do the Griffin School gear. Yeah. So for now, we are going to do an invitation from Kira Metz. But let's look at the upgrade screen. Oh yeah, I also got a bunch more mutagens. I managed to find, like, after killing a lot of monsters and stuff, I managed to get a bunch of greater mutagens, well, a bunch of normal mutagens that I combined to make a greater one. And I just optimized this a little. It might be good just putting another combat slot here to increase the attack power. That's unlocked to level 10. Okay, I have plenty of points, I guess. Let's take a look at the combat tree. Oh, we might as well do this, right? Precise blows increase the chance of landing a fast attack critical hit by 2% and fast attack critical hit damage by 15%. Ooh. So 15% bump in damage on crits. Alright. Like the chance... the chance doesn't matter too much to me, but just the increased damage on the crits alone, that's pretty wonderful. Critical blows is just the same for strong attacks. That can be useful, but I don't know if it's worth using a slot for that. Again, the crossbow one's not that useful, really. The crossbow doesn't do much damage. Ugh. Alright, we will pick Precise Blues. We might... Honestly, I think I'm just gonna upgrade this as much as I can. Pretty good. 45% damage increase on crits. That's pretty good, and with this lesser red mutagen, I have plus 20% attack power. If I take a look at my mutagens briefly, I have one more lesser red. So if I get another lesser red, I can make that into a normal red, and I'll get an even bigger boost. Like I said before, red mutagens are harder to come by. I think greens are the most common, blues are slightly more rare or less common, and red mutagens are just rare. They do not seem to drop nearly as much as the others. But we are fine on that half for now. You know, let's just get to this.
The rats, why did he need them?
Bloody rodents. Better to have stuffed them with a poison, or crushed them into a pulp with a shovel, but no.
Did you see what he did with them?
Yeah, didn't want to interrupt on that.
Kira, what are you doing?
Geralt.
Oh, just a bit of black
Gave me quite
magic,
a
you know how
start.
it is.
But nay, the mage he says, bring me rats and healthy ones. Not something the cat dragged in.
This the lamp from the elf's hideout? And what's this about rats?
Nothing important. I'll explain later. Now tell me, to what do I owe the pleasure?
Oh, we got a bunch of dialogue options. Good. I do like my fucking lore. Why do you want a magic lamp?
Why do you want the lamp?
You just witnessed why. To communicate with lost souls.
Didn't know you were interested in that kind of magic.
There's nothing wrong with it.
Why'd the elf promise you the lamp?
We traded for it. He needed powerful magic and sensed I was no common wart charmer. I brewed him a potion. To delay nervous tissue degeneration, stave off memory loss or some such.
Who'd he want to use it on?
He didn't say.
I could take a quick gander, honestly.
Bet the old witch who lived here left you a bunch of interesting sundries.
She did indeed. I gather you'd like a look.
Very much so.
I guess we'll do it while we're here. Oh, this is pretty cool. A potion of clearance. Returns all ability points spent to develop abilities to the available pool so you can redistribute them. For 1,000 crowns, quite a hefty sum, you can, yeah, just reset your abilities. And look at this, she sells, like, greater runestones. And greater glyphs, too, which can be pretty tough to come by. Not bad. And just a plethora of herbs. But I'm not going to purchase anything off of her, really. I am fine.
So,
oh, we already asked.
I mean,
Okay,
yes.
I remember this. We already asked
Changing
these
the
questions to her. Yeah, I don't know why it gives you these options again. I already asked her these options when we first met her in her, like, underground sauna or whatever it was. So, we'll just move on with that.
mentioned you wanted something from me.
I did, and still do. The cursed isle on Lake Windammer. You've heard of it, I'm sure. The local peasants mumble incessantly about it, about the wraiths that haunt it. They claim none who go there return.
How'd it come to be cursed?
That's what I don't know. I must break this spell, yet I've been unable to identify its source.
Gotta know something.
Scraps. The curse is somehow linked to the tower where Serad, the lord of these lands, took refuge when Nilfgaard invaded. Claims in the village are that peasants, desperate of hunger, sailed to Fyke Isle to beg for food. Met their end there. It was a massacre. So, will you please help me lift this curse? You're so good at these things.
Okay.
Why are you so intent on this?
I'm not. The local peasantry is. The Isle, miss. You've got to lift the charm. You're a good witch, a great witch. There's no end
Good
to
impression.
Uh-huh. See, I thought you didn't care for the locals. The great witch you are.
I failed to lift the curse, and they could conclude I'm not so great. Not enough to conceal me from the witch hunters and risk getting sent to the gallows themselves.
What others think, your image, that's all you care about.
The point is, listen, I didn't flee to these wilds just to stupidly get caught because some boar with grit under his fingernails grows annoyed with me.
So the peasants who went to the island for food, this lord had them murdered?
The villagers say he had them poisoned.
A real gentleman.
Well, I never met him. But he certainly didn't seem such a cruel man, judging by what a mage from the Isle told me.
A mage lived on the island? Did you know him? Where is he now?
We were friends. Sadly, he died that day as well. Very few survived. Yet even those who escaped the Isle soon suffered agonizing deaths. Strangely, they did not seem to have been poisoned.
Sounds like a case for a witcher.
Alright, I'll help.
I knew you'd find it irresistible. Naturally, you'll need to sail to Fyke Isle.
Fine. What then?
Well, the spirits who wander the Isle, you must establish a rapport with them. Don't know how, but they could point us in the direction of the curse's source.
Think they'll be willing to chat?
Of course, provided you take my magic lamp with you. I shall let you keep it afterwards in appreciation. You'll find it quite useful, I'm sure.
Can't you just come with me?
I tried to go to Fyke Isle once. Thought my head would burst, the curse's magic was so strong.
Nice of you to send me there.
I experienced an acute nasal hemorrhage. You stand to endure a wobble of your medallion at most. At Aretusa, they trained me to detect even the subtlest magic pulses. This was like getting smacked across my haunches with a grain flail.
Funny. Thought you'd go in for that sort of thing.
Take my boat.
Damn.
I left it on the lake shore near the village. Should be fit to use. Provided rot hasn't eaten it, as it seems to eat everything here.
How's the lamp actually work? I mean, do I just rub it, or do I have to do something, magical?
You needn't even rub.
See, this is why Geralt's great.
Just place it where you find bones and hear whispers.
Just his dialogue and his dry
I suppose
humor
I
in
should
general.
warn you, it might not be the most pleasant experience.
Figured as much. Tell you all about it later. Maybe skip the drastic bits.
You'll need to do neither. I'll give you a Xenovox. It's a bauble that will let us speak over some distance. You will tell me what you see, and I shall tell you what to do and look for.
Never heard of a Xenovox.
It works just like a megascope, but is far more portable. Think of it as a magic box that talks.
They hard to build?
Extremely. That's why they're so rare. I certainly couldn't build anything like it.
So no chance these Xenovoxes will catch on with every mage using one?
Not the slightest.
Is that supposed to be some sort of, like, meta commentary on, like, you know, mobile phones? Or any sort of telephone? Because this is set during the 13th century, so... I don't know. Not that it matters anyway.
So where'd you get the Xenovox?
Found it in the mine along with the lamp. Thought it was part of the lamp at first. Didn't realize what I'd actually found until later.
Think it belonged to the elven mage?
Clearly. And I didn't even know the elves used them.
Alright, I'm off.
I need to know anything else before I go?
No, that is all. Oh, go already. I can't wait to see what you discover on Kyle. Just be sure to come and see me afterwards. And... Geralt. Thank you.
Alright, new quest item. Yeah, I was just gonna comment on after all the dialogue went by. Yeah, Geralt has several moments in this game where his dry humor just comes out and it's brilliant. There's a certain Witcher contract in Novigrad which has, like, unironically one of my favourite bad, like, dad jokes of all time. It's so amazing I can't even begin to describe it. Alright. Wait, Right. Am I retarded? Okay, the quest didn't proc. A tower full of mice. Alright. Let's go do this quest then. Okay, Rog, don't get caught on, I don't know, thin air. Oh, nice. A dude who's been hung. Welcome to Velen. We hang folk. Yeah, I'm gonna kind of, like, slice and dice through all of these fools. These enemies are 5 levels below me. And I have oils and decent gear. Like, should not have issues. Hello. And goodbye. Alright. Did they drop anything useful? Like marginally useful stuff, it seems. Alright. Take the bow. Is this the first time I got on a bow in the playthrough? I think so. It's pretty simple. I just need to go to the helm and it kind of functions pretty simply, actually. Just hold like the run button to increase speed. This weather is miserable. It's just like a normal day in Britain, I guess. I mean, I shouldn't say that. It's actually really warm today. Quite so, in
Geralt,
fact.
can you hear me? How goes it? Where are you?
Almost there.
Splendid. I shall contact you again soon.
Wait, this Xenovox. Can I contact you with it, or is it one way?
One way only, I'm afraid. You'll have to trust my feminine intuition.
Your what?
My feminine intuition!
Wonderful.
It's a pretty haunting view of the Isle in the distance there. Hopefully that will set the tone appropriately. Oh boy. We've got some drowners. Actually, those are rock fiends. You can tell by the silhouettes. What's the screams? Wait, who's here? Hold on, Kira. There's some woman screaming even though there's no one else here.
Are you on the Isle yet? Does the Xenovox work? Can you hear me?
What? I can't hear. It broke already. Sheesh. Should I break this magic?
What did you say? There's some interference. You must be very careful.
Explode! Wait, oh my... Okay, I can't be the only person who saw that. Dude, what's with the screams? Is this a bug? Or is it supposed to be some, like, intentional thing? Like it's a spirit? 'Cause it's really distracting. Yeah, I'm just saying I'm glad that I'm level 9 for this. I feel like these enemies would be a slog to fight if I was on their level. Listen to the scream. It has to be a spirit, surely. Equip the magic lamp. It's gonna be spirits here. Something has to explain the screams. Maybe not. Maybe it really is just a bug. Well, at least it's not a game-breaking bug. Skellige Gambison. Hello? Do you want to have a chat with me? You can speak to my blade! This guy died in a pretty unflattering position. Oh my. Enemies have some genuinely hilarious ragdolls in this game, especially drowners. I don't know why they have to die in such a dramatic fashion. Look at that! Whoa! My legs got all wobbly. It says, use the magic lamp to find ghosts. Okay. So might as well. I'd also like to say that while I was doing my exploring, I did kill that owl ghoul, that like really high leveled owl ghoul that killed me before. I got my revenge on that bastard. He's dead.
Wonder what killed them. Doesn't look like the work of necrophages.
I can use the lamp, right? A bit. No. Alright, it doesn't seem to work that way.
Show me what you got.
What the hell is that shit? Some weird cloud. Oh, don't do that. Re-equip necrophage oil. Oh shit! I became complacent. That wasn't good. That wasn't good. But that's kind of the thing I like about this. It's pretty lore accurate to how witches operate, you know, in the books and all that. You know, the notion that while witches are incredibly skilled at fighting their opponents, they are still mortal and vulnerable. And they can still die really easily to even lesser creatures they can get ganged up upon. So, like, sure, these are ghouls, but they can still take me down in, like, 3 or 4 hits. And these are the weaker enemies. So it has a good, like, gameplay implication that, you should, again, like, Geralt can still die really easily, but it explains his skills. And the game does actually explain why he can die so easily to attacks, because he is still mortal after all. God, this... I'm trying to fix the cave. Well, not the cave, but you know what I mean. Look at this. That looks ridiculous. I guess you could describe it as like ludonarrative dissonance in a way, but like the opposite. So I guess ludonarrative resonance, where the gameplay like merges with the canonical plot like perfectly. Well, not necessarily perfectly, but you know, it works in tandem with it as opposed to breaking it. Devil May Cry does do this really well too. But I'm not going to go into that here.
They're onto us! They'll not let Graham in!
Quiet, fool. Babylon and the noble himself will hear you.
Nah, he sat his arse on silk pillows, likely be gobbling meat. With no notion we's coming to tear him to shreds.
Way's clear, lads! Adam!
Wasn't there another one here? Or am I, mistaken in thinking? What was that? Excuse me? What is this, some Oddworld creature? I think it's a hag. Fuck you. Don't throw your shite at me. You'll have a civilized, honorable duel. Oh, fuck. Don't do that. Ooh.
Millie, we gotta flee. Quick now. Millie! Millie, what's with ye?
I don't know. So what? Burning. Ah!
What? No. No, stay back.
Don't leave me!
Millie's a strange name for a dude. Hello. Oh, I won't lie, I love the atmosphere here and how unbelievably ominous it is.
Peasants didn't come here to ask nicely.
Hi, rat. Dude, these are fucking huge rats. It's the super rats. I guess Murray was correct all along.
Place is full of rats. As many dead as alive. Think they're feeding on...
Just Geralt, stop. You needn't be so detailed.
Eh.
Where's that noble? Lying here, quiet as a mouse, head split open like a rotted pumpkin. More like a peasant now, sloshing around in his own blood and shite. Be nothing noble about him.
Too quick a death they gave him. Should have been made to suffer.
He's not the end of it. Sons can suffer for him, and a daughter. To the top!
Right, and these starving peasants are somehow justified in this.
Blood.
But we'll get more context
Many
for
must
this.
have died here.
Yeah, I'm just gonna ignore that. I'm kidding. Investigate! Of course, they pull the whole, you know, horror movie bullshit trope. What's knocking on the door? And you open it and there's nothing there. You lied to me. Yeah, okay, there's just this here.
Rich folk. Doubt I'll ever understand them. Keeping rats in cages like rabbits. Let them out, maybe? Like to die of hunger if we leave them there. I'd sooner burn the vermin. Releasing them's not like to bring no good. Imagine the harm they'd do if they swam back to the village. Swam? Rats? How do you figure they'd do that? You needn't fret for them. Clever little bastards. Clever than you. They seem sluggish to you. Got the mange, maybe? Oh, and that stench!
Nothing of note, aside from a few things I can pick up down there. It's really dark here. And I don't mean that in a way that I'm scared of it. I mean, I know how this all goes. But, it's not great for visibility, like, in terms of the gameplay in general. I like being able to see things.
Don't start, Annabelle. Back to your craft. Always bending my ear about fool peasants. I'll not hear of them again. That simpleton turned your head, but one Graham hardly makes the rest courtly, one and all.
My lord, peasants. They're through the door in the tower.
Oh. Continue upwards. Nice that the torches light up when I go up there, and the fires are kind of green. Not suspicious at all. There's nothing else going on here. Nothing at all.
Gold! Piles of it! Oh, won't do the dead any good now, will it?
Oh, okay,
Gold!
resets.
Piles of it! Oh, won't do the dead any good now, will it? Strange it's still here. The noble died a time ago. Who's that? Show yourself. Anyone there? Who? Who are you?
Okay, what killed him, I wonder? Oh, I don't want that. Fuck you, small blackjack. Useless weapon. Useless.
Where are you?
Oh,
Have you
Jesus.
got to the laboratory at the top of the tower yet?
I'm at the top. Nothing here that looks like a laboratory.
Then you've not reached the highest level. Look for a passage.
Someone dragged something across the floor. Or dragged it from one wall to the other, repeatedly.
All right.
Looks like a laboratory. Pretty well equipped, too.
Let's leave that there. I want to read the first part of the log, ideally. Enhanced moon dust, that's good. Definitely want that. The Mage Alexander's log, part 1. Day 237. My experiments continue to return results I must consider unreliable. Methodological errors are not at fault. The problem lies in the shoddy and fallible research material I am forced to work with. Despite his prior assurance, Zerad is unable to provide me with enough moderately healthy specimens for my tests. Most of the material is starved and terrified, having been dragged here straight from the dungeon. I waste a great deal of time daily washing and delousing them before I will so much as let them step foot into my laboratory. Sterility first. As Marty Sodergren managed to prove in her little-known work, the attitude of a patient undergoing treatment can have a significant impact on the battle against a disease. Unfortunately, the volunteers with which I am supplied do not show sufficient comprehension, let alone enthusiasm for the noble work in which they are taking part. In fact, it seems they consider the research part of their punishment. I've tried a few times, though I am but a poor speaker, to convince them that they are contributing to the eradication of one of the greatest plagues tormenting mankind. I had the distinct impression they understood little, but perhaps their stupor was merely a result of the early stages of the illness. Of course, it is impossible to achieve success without significant sacrifices. The overwhelming majority of them will have to lay down their trifling lives on the altar of learning, but that is a sacrifice I am willing to make. Okay, Lord Farquaad. Part 2. Day 346. I never did like rats, not because of their obscene tales, but rather on account of their lively, disturbing intelligence. They are always listening when a man believes he is talking only to himself. And what's worse, they seem to understand. A few days ago I caught myself talking to one of them, to a particularly large black male with a torn-off ear. At first I was overcome by panic. Was this the first manifestation of the illness? Of course, that was impossible, for I had fortified my immunity with powerful spells. Upon further consideration, I concluded it was an altogether natural reflex, one even the most learned among us find hard to restrain. We mages like to be listened to. I placed the black rat in a separate cage. The time will come for it to play a part in the tests. Meanwhile, it can keep me company and observe. I've noticed it looks with great concentration at the cages of its infected brethren, particularly those in the last stages of illness. Fascinating. Speaking of company, I have none, besides the black rat, and cannot hope for better. Zerard avoids the laboratory and has expressed his desire for his daughter to steer clear of me as well. At first I thought he feared a moral scandal, which would be risible in the extreme, but he explained the true reason in due course. It seems Annabelle had always possessed a fragile psychic constitution. Observing the ill might throw her into foul humours. The peasants taking part in the study have stopped speaking to me. I don't know what they believe this little act of defiance will serve. It does me no harm. They made for lousy conversation partners. There remains, of course, the woman, but as for her, I try to limit my contact. Day 362. My black rat has died. Today I found him curled up in his cage. I suspected he had become infected on accident, but during the autopsy I did not uncover any signs of illness. He was also perfectly well fed. Strange. From a medical point of view, his death remains unexplained, something which, I must admit, irritates the scholar in me. But as mentioned previously, I'm not particularly fond of rats. Alright, like, look at this. Human experimentation.
Experimenting on humans. Never would have gotten away with it if the Conclave were still in charge.
Wonderful. I'm gonna come back and check this out in a second. But first, let's go up a little. Again,
Kept in there until the end. What a shitty way to die.
Yeah, people in cells. I can barely see the game myself. Let's go out here. Don't fall to our death. Enhanced Spectre oil is very good. In fact, I doubt I could craft that now. No. I do have the... I can easily get the resources from it, though. Alright. Let's go interact with this then, shall we? Ah! What was that?
Why did you leave? You claimed to love me. I'm cold. Why has no one come for me? I cannot leave this place. I see no way out. Who are you? Do you seek to hurt me as well?
Don't be afraid. I want to lift the curse that grips this island. Your turn to tell me who you are. The other ghosts, they couldn't see me.
I'm special. Always was. The rare beauty. The Lord's daughter. These lands, as far as the eye can see, were ours. My family and I, we hid in the Major's Tower to await the war's end, the end of hard times. It was not to be forever.
Mage who lived here. Who was he?
Alexander? I hardly knew him. He spent most of his time locked away in this tower. He's dead too, you know. They're all dead. Mountains of corpses, yet I stand here alone, all alone. They've all abandoned me. Even he who promised me everlasting love. You will abandon me as well.
If I can lift the curse, you yourself will be free to leave. Tell me what happened here. Peasants sailed to the island to ask for food. Is that true?
No. They came to rob and kill. They thought us rich, believed we'd stowed ourselves away here to laugh at their misery. Yet we had little food as well. Too little to share with those who came. They slaughtered everyone. I heard my father cry out, but the mage told me not to reveal myself or let anyone in. He gave me a potion. If I was discovered, I was to drink it. He said everything would be all right.
What kind of potion was it? Remember its smell? What it looked like?
I remember only that I feared to drink it.
Didn't trust the mage?
In the village, they claimed he meddled in disease. Not curing it, but causing it. They said he lured rats into the tower, infected them with the Catriona. Only rumors, surely, but I was afraid. So horribly afraid. And then I heard him. My beloved Graham. He called to me. I opened the door for him, but others rushed in. They lunged at me and...
Your beloved failed to save you. Why?
There were too many. Leave her be, he shouted. He grabbed at them, tried to stop them. They just laughed.
Did they hurt you?
They gripped my arms, tore at my dress. I managed to free myself and drink the potion, and then... nothing.
Poisoned? That how you died?
No, for I later awoke. I was alone, it was dark. Only there were rats everywhere. Dozens. Hundreds. And I couldn't move.
Sleeping potion. Effects hadn't worn off yet. You were paralyzed.
They were everywhere. All over me like insects. My face, my hands. I felt them rip open my skin, then crawl into my stomach. They tore me apart, and I could not even scream. Have I not suffered enough? Why can't I leave this place?
Man, that's like a fucking horrible way to die. Jesus. And also pretty interesting that Alexander gave her a sleeping potion to paralyze her to make it seem like she was dead so other people would leave her alone. So, while he definitely did partake in human experimentation, it's clear to see that he's not completely awful. It's not quite that simple, is it? Alright.
You weren't the last to die on this island. Found a fresh corpse in the tower.
The island's a dangerous place. Folks should not venture here. I too wish to leave.
The dead man. Looked like a monster had attacked him recently. The tower home to anything else?
How am I to know? There's lots of wraiths here. I hear them whispering every night.
Not talking about ghosts. A monster who hunts here. You must have noticed something.
I don't know. I've noticed naught. Why do you ask? Why must you press me so? You're to be my savior, not my tormentor.
Pretty interesting. As soon as I started this dialogue choice, her tone changed completely.
Can you talk to the island's other specters?
No, I'm alone here. The others, they flee when they see me. I know not why. You do not fear me, do you?
No. Used to dealing with ghosts. Though, gotta admit, there's something about you. You're different. How can I help you?
A curse born of hatred binds me to this place. Only love's power can hope to lift it. But who could love a wraith?
And your beloved, He dead too?
Graham? No, he lives. I would know if he died. But he fled and abandoned me. Left me here all alone.
Maybe you could strip the curse of its power by forgiving him. You might cleanse the Isle. Your beloved, who is he? A noble son?
No, a poor fisherman. My father objected, strongly. He did not see us together. I miss him so. Each night I walk to the island shore to gaze upon the village. Does he remember me still?
Said before you can't leave the tower.
Did I? You must have misheard.
I don't think so.
I don't know anymore. It's all a nightmare to me.
Good one, Geralt. Good one.
As I see it, you're the curse's focus. The other ghosts on the island, their auras aren't nearly as strong as yours. My medallion started pulsating as soon as we started talking.
I don't know what you mean, but you do seem to know some things. You could be right. My fate is tied to the Isle, I feel that. Perhaps because I am heiress of these lands.
It could be your blood ties to the land, the base of the curse, that is. If so, forgiving Graham, laying your resentment to rest should lift it.
I loved him. I'm prepared to forgive him. But I must know that he regrets what he did. Take my bones to him. He must bury them. This will be our farewell. Will you speak to him? Will you do this for me?
You're a bit suspicious. Especially with how you seem to conveniently change information on a whim.
Really sad story, but something's not right. Got a feeling.
What is it?
You're not telling me everything. You know the island's dangerous, but refuse to tell me about the monster that lives here.
There is no monster.
I can't help you. Taking anything off this cursed island, from any cursed place, just too dangerous. And a dead woman's bones, that's asking for trouble.
They said witches are heartless beasts. Will you bring Graham here then? I so long to say goodbye.
Annabelle, listen.
You never wished to help me, and here I have someone would finally take pity on me.
Uh-oh. Geralt's intuition was correct. Right. Let's get some, let's get some Erdem down here. Jesus, look how much damage I did. Yeah, kind of over-leveled for this, clearly. And I will slowly chase her all the way to the bottom. This is really awkward.
What was that? It sounded for a moment like you joined the race yourself.
Had to fight a pester.
A pester? And did you learn how to lift the curse before you lunged at her, sword in hand?
Yeah, we talked a bit. Looks like I need to get her beloved to the island. Fisherman named Graham.
I know the man. He lives in Oriton, village on the lakeshore. Find him immediately. We're close to unraveling this. I can feel it.
Alright, I think I have a fast travel point at Oriton, so we'll just head there now. It's not far away. And also I can read the notice board on me. I was waiting for an excuse to read this notice board. Now we can. Alright. Goose has stopped laying. Hearken help, any who can. My goose has stopped laying, though she's not but a year old. The peddler said to smear her rump with rapeseed oil to get her laying again. But when I tried that, she pecked my hand so hard I still wear the bruise to this day. So I'm asking if anyone knows another safer method. Lester. What? Oh, okay. Scribe law needed. Scribe law for the writing of notices needed. Painting crops and... what? Victuals? Willis. Brilliant. That's actually hilarious. He's looking for a scribe because he can't spell. Man needed. God's almighty, I can't stand another minute of it. Every lass around has got a man save me. So if you're somewhat young and handy, able to plough a field and don't drink overly much, and most importantly of all, in need of a wife, then come see Helander and we'll both find what we're looking for. Don't do it, it's a trap. Warning! Hark! Went to Crow's Perch to do a spot of trading. Them bandits just spat on me mugs, then shattered them all against the ground out of spite, and gave me a sound beating on a lark. Take counsel from my misfortune and stay damned far from that perch of miscreants. Sama. For a contract. Missing soldiers. Let it be known that the Imperial Army is in need of a man who knows the area, a hunter or a scout, for example, to help us find a missing patrol. It is possible the soldiers fell prey to a monster. If this suspicion is confirmed, anyone delivering the beast's head will be paid a reward by the undersigned. Address any and all questions to the same individual. Glory to the Emperor, Milan Noran, commander of the division stationed in Oriton. And warning, no one breathe a word about what happened on Fyke Isle. Wag your tongue and you'll sorely regret it. Okay. Graham lives a bit of the way out of everyone else's.
They won't be as cocky as Baron's men whip your arse.
I want to talk.
You're deaf, damn it! I told you. Who are you?
I've been to the island. I know what happened there.
What you want of me?
Want to talk to you about Annabelle.
Annabelle? What can you know about her?
I met her. Talked to her.
Annabelle's dead. Drank poison. And I couldn't save her.
Did you love her?
Something mad. Loved her so deep I believed we'd come through, believed we'd be together. Of course, it was not to her father's liking. His daughter and a plain lout.
What happened on Fyke Isle? You gotta tell me.
'Twere Millie, Finch and Faulkner. They rallied the men, all roughs, to go to the Isle, take back what was ours from the noble. They knew I was known at the tower, that the Lord's servants would open the gate for me since I sold them fish.
They forced you to go with them?
No, I saw my chance in it. For Annabelle and me to flee. But it all spun in a chaos. Our boys from the village, they started killing everyone. Annabelle, they wanted to rape. 'Twas then she drank the poison. Mage must have gave it her. I ran out the tower hollering that I wanted to die, cursing them all to hell. Don't force me to speak of it. No more, please.
Said you were hollering as you fled the tower, the island. What exactly did you say?
I don't remember. I wanted them to pay for what they'd done to her.
Might have cursed them. There's a powerful magic aura on Fyke Isle. Passions, evil intent, strong emotions of any kind can activate it. Your words could be the curse's source.
She took the poison because of them.
It wasn't poison. Annabelle drank a strong sleeping potion. Mage wanted to protect her, make it look like she was dead. Convinced everyone.
That means... Is she... You said you spoke to her?
Spoke to a ghost. By the time she awoke, Tower was full of cold corpses. And rats. She was warm meat. Rats ate her alive.
You mean... She was alive the whole time? But... Can't be. She was cold all through like a corpse. I shook her, begged her, open your eyes. I never thought...
It's not your fault. No guilt in not knowing, and you couldn't know it wasn't poison she drank.
Gods, what have I done? If I had stayed behind to bury her, I'd have noticed she was alive. It might have ended different, ended well.
If you'd stayed on the island, I doubt you'd have survived.
I'd take death over leaving her to the rats like that. But there's naught I can do about it now.
Wrong on that count. Annabelle needs you. You can help her.
She's still there? In the tower? Can I see her?
Yeah. One thing you should know, though. In death, Annabelle turned into a pesta.
A pester? What's that?
More than a restless ghost. A plague maiden. A powerful wraith filled with grief and hatred that drive her. Give her the power to sow disease and death.
She suffers. How am I to help her? Gods know I'm willing.
Annabelle thinks you abandoned her.
Gods! She hates me. And all this time she's thought I ran, abandoned her.
Yes. Go to the tower. Talk to her. Maybe you can convince her that's not how it was.
I thought she died. I'd never left her there otherwise.
A curse has imprisoned Annabelle and the other spirits on the island. Love can shatter its power, free her and them.
Just as in the legends.
If you know the legends, you know one kiss is enough to break an evil spell. On one condition. That it's a kiss from someone whose love is true.
I told you. I said I love her with all my heart. Take me to her, please.
It's dangerous. There are risks involved. Understand that, don't you?
Of course. I'm no coward. I'll not run this time.
Nothing. Let's go.
I'm ready.
Let's go to the tower.
We wander this place because of you! I've waited long enough for revenge. And now
Alright then.
Last I came through here, I still hoped Annabelle and me weren't impossible. We could have been together, and now she's dead. And it's my fault. If only I'd been able to protect her.
You can't change the past, but you can still help Annabelle to move on, to rest in peace.
You have not forgotten. You've returned for me.
Is that?
Don't you recognize me? It's me, Annabelle. The one you abandoned, remember?
Look at a little different.
Belle, I was sure you was dead. If I'd known otherwise, I'd never have left you. I'd do anything for you. I would. You know that well. Believe me, I beg you.
Prove it. Kiss me.
Graham, careful.
Tongue.
At last.
The curse is lifted, and Graham and Annabella are reunited.
I guess? I mean, I suppose that's what he wants. I guess it doesn't much matter if he's alive or dead in that respect. So, happy ending? Yeah? Well, I'd say more bittersweet if anything, but alas. You did know there was risks involved. Now it's time to leave. Let's go inform Kira about this.
Hey-ya!
Geralt, just when I was starting to miss you.
Did I talk about this before?
Tell me more about this mage from the Isle. Were you two close?
Never expected you'd take such an interest in my private life.
More interested to know if you bonded as fellow magic practitioners.
Well, we had little in common in that arena. Oh, Alexander was one of those anxious experimenters, forever short on sleep. The kind that thinks perfect happiness is an isolated tower and a full set of vials and alembics.
Is that all? Okay, never mind.
Fyke Isle's free of its curse.
Able to persuade Graham to go to the tower with you? Did you mention there was a pester involved?
He knew the risks, but he'd also heard lots of stories about true love, whose kiss can break any spell. Can't help thinking that gave him courage.
And? It ended well?
Depends how you look at it. Curse is lifted, Annabelle's spirit is left in peace. But Graham's dead.
Oh, poor boy. Still, he's proved that true love may be more common than some suppose.
The lamp. What do you want to do with it?
As I said, you may keep it. I don't believe I shall need it anymore, given the Isle's been cleansed. I actually regret not going there with you. Perhaps we can make up for that lost time now.
One thing's bothering me.
What?
Annabelle said Alexander was studying diseases. She mentioned Catriona. You knew this?
All the mages knew about it. Alexander was a highly regarded epidemiologist. I would have given anything for an opportunity to study his notes, but he guarded them jealously.
All right. Time I was on my way.
Perhaps you'd stay just a bit longer? There's one small favor you might yet do for me.
What is it?
I put in an order for a few substances from Novigrad. The trader was due to be here yesterday, but has yet to arrive. Could you see what happened? The package is rather important to me.
Okay.
Why not? If he was coming here from Novigrad, he must have passed through Blackbow. I'll check the area.
Thank you. I shall be ever so grateful.
Oh.
Ask a service of the
Hello.
Witcher, the Pella must. A witcherly service, that's to say.
What do you need? Tell me.
A man who fears no evil the Pella needs. Forefathers' Eve is nigh. We've rites to conduct. Wandering souls to emerge. Damned souls, too. We've the circle to protect from these wretches.
What'll I get out of it?
Witches do naught for free, this the Pella knows. Not to fear. How to reward one for their aid, this too the Pella knows.
Why hold the ritual at all?
At times men die choking with regret. At times death takes them before they've tasted any bitterness in life. These poor souls, unfulfilled, cannot leave this vale of tears. Their spirits wander midst the living, must be judged, sent on their way. This we do on Forefathers' Eve.
Alright.
Seems like you could use a witcher, so yeah, I'll help.
You'd not refuse, the Pella knew. The time's come to gather the folk. Across the lake we must journey, to Fyke Isle. There in the circle of stones we shall meet.
The sooner we resolve this, the better. Best do it tonight at midnight.
Alright. We will end up doing that quest next time, as well as doing this other quest for Kira too. So, we're going to stop it here. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next part when we'll do exactly as I stated. Follow up on some more side quests. See you then, folks. Peace.